towering presence of the Himalayas dwarfs all other mountains. At the heart of this spectacular region, caught uneasily between the two emerging powers of China and India, lies the tiny country of Nepal. Millions of travelers have visited these mountains over the years. Adventurers to its highest summits, spiritual pilgrims to its sacred sites, and tourists to its commercial trekking routes. But step off the tourist path, and you find another land altogether. It's to this hidden Nepal that I'm traveling. When I first visited Nepal 20 years ago, I traveled at the invitation of USC Canada, an international development agency I've been involved with since 1970. It was an incredible trip, which we documented in a photojournal called Path to Nepal. I discovered a country which was beautiful, complex, and desperately poor. Wherever we went, I was moved by the Nepalis' resilience and by their efforts to improve their lives. So now the winds have blown me back here, and I'm excited to see how things have changed. Kathmandu, the capital, is my jumping off point. It's a long road that's led to this place, so I'm spending a day or two taking it easy before heading up into the mountains. Kathmandu itself is really interesting, and now it's gone from being a kind of provincial town to being a big, throbbing, semi-modern Asian metropolis with a vastly greater population, vastly greater number of vehicles, no improvement in the road conditions. It's a crazy place. It's difficult to breathe in Kathmandu, but it's such a kaleidoscope, it's fantastic. I'm curious about how Nepali cultural traditions have survived the city's growing modernity. I figure a good place to start is with the music. Namaste. You're Arjun?
Yes, I'm Arjun.
Yeah, Bruce Cockburn. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
They said you were the man to talk to about bells.
Bells are singing bowl.
Singing bowls are bowls made of an alloy, mostly brass, but there are other metals mixed in. And they come in different sizes, tuned to different pitches.
Please, you sitting like this.
I sit like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Sitting.
Yeah?
And now, please.
It's very low here. Wait a minute.
Little close, again close.
Okay.
Yeah. Close. This take
What?
out here.
Take out, wait,
Yes.
wait.
Now.
Hold on now, this is getting too weird.
Straight body.
Straight body,
Yeah.
okay. Why
Straight
can't I
body.
have my glasses
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, right? Just close eye.
Okay.
Okay, silent, please.
Mm-hmm. It was the most beautiful and intense musical experience I'd had in some time, I think. It was a combination of like the beauty of what he was playing and being right in it. And literally, with that bowl on my head, I mean, it was total absorption in the performance. I feel like I've had an experience like no other. Yeah.
So you are also musician.
I am. I play guitar.
Oh,
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah.
This is our
version of the guitar.
this is like a ektari. Ektari.
Ettari. Besides running his store, Arjun plays in one of the many distinctively Nepali bands. The music tradition appears to be alive and well. How did you learn? How did you start to do this?
Me?
Yeah.
My life is music, sir. My life music. I'm not perfectly speak English language.
You're doing
sir.
fine. You're doing totally fine.
But only music is the universal language.
Yes. One of the places I visited last time I was here is the Hindu temple of Pashupatinath, which is known for its very public cremation of the dead. It's kind of a bit creepy because we're not used to seeing such things, but it looks like a healthy recognition that death is part of life. It seems entirely positive. Some foreigners can't wait to get away from the smell of the smoke. But to me, it's like incense. It's the strangest sensation, something that harks back to shamanistic times. There's some element of life in this smoke that touches me. The timeless peace of the temple stands in stark contrast to the recent chaos that has shaken Nepal. The poverty which you see everywhere has led to the emergence of radical Maoist elements, angry over widespread political corruption and the glacial pace of democratic reforms. An insurrection they began in the mid-1990s was followed by a decade of fighting between Maoist and government forces that left 15,000 Nepalis dead and the country in a state of political turmoil. Nepal was gripped by violence which only recently came to an end with the promise of democratic elections. The Maoists, newly committed to participation in the political process, won a surprise victory. Around Kathmandu, there's little sign of the recent conflicts, but I wonder if it's any different in the countryside. I've been told that the Maoists were very active in the region we're traveling to, Humla, far from here, high in the Himalayas. First we fly to Nepalganj in the southwest of the country, then we head north by car. I'm joined by my girlfriend, MJ Hannett, and USC Canada's Nepal director, Sriram Shrestha. We're driving across a part of Nepal called the Terai, right by the border with India. The land around it is very moist and warm and fertile, and full of what appear to be pretty prosperous farms, in Nepali terms at least. Nepal, geographically, is a really interesting place because it starts at almost sea level. The Terai is only a few hundred feet above sea level. The land rises in a series of mountain ranges, alternating with valleys, getting ever higher until you reach the high Himalayas. There's a national park that we're driving through, which is, I presume, full of the wildlife of the region.
Monkeys and rhinoceros.
Yeah, rhinoceros, yeah, and deer, you know deer?
Yeah.
Yeah, deer. Yeah, tiger also
Tiger,
here.
but tigers at night, right? They don't come out during the day.
Yeah.
And the occasional Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
Yes. And a yeti, no?
Sorry?
The yeti.
No, they're up high.
Leaving the Terai, you do start to feel that you're moving away from areas that are served by infrastructure of any sort. After a long day's drive, we arrive at Surkhet, which is the end of the road. From here, we'll have to catch a small plane to the town of Simikot in the heart of Humla. Sriram tells me that these streets would usually be crowded with people. But today is the last day of the 5-day festival of lights called Diwali. People have closed their businesses to celebrate with their families. Apparently, this is the last we'll see of electricity, running water, cars, or roads. The region we're headed to is really off the grid. When we get to the airport, we find our plane to Simikot has been delayed. There are mechanical problems. Technicians are flown in from Nepal guns to repair the engine. I hope they know what they're doing. When I hear they're on the phone with Finland to get advice, I start thinking, maybe we won't be flying up to Simikot today. MJ and I get to rehearse some of the tango moves we learned in Argentina, and I laugh ironically at that. And there's the one where I end up like that, but I can't remember how to get there. I can't remember any of this stuff. Eventually, the pilot gives us the go-ahead. Very nice to meet you. Oh, I'm glad your plane is working for you, too. Well, there's MJ and I sitting in the back of the plane with bags of rice and Sri Ram. We're flying into bigger and bigger mountains. By North American standards, it's actually quite a short distance from Kathmandu to Humla. But if you don't fly, it's a 26-day walk. So that's a distance. As Sri Ram puts it, there are no motorable roads out here, just an ancient network of trails for people, goats, and yaks. We're entering the Humla district, sometimes referred to as the Hidden Himalayas. When you reach Simikot, the town is built on a ledge. It's a big ledge, it's big enough to hold a town, but it's a ledge all the same, and the plane pretty much flies up this valley and straight onto the ledge. There's very little descent involved. Here in Simikot, we get to hook up with Susie Walsh, whom I accompanied 20 years ago. At that time, she was USC's project officer for Nepal. Now she's running the organization. I can't believe how out of breath I am already, until I remember that we're now at 10,000 feet.
First, have a tea, relax, welcome tea. Then we'll go and check in the room. Okay, okay, sure.
I guess I finally arrived. She and her niece sat down with me last night around the fire. Right. I was by myself. They sat with me. We couldn't really communicate, but we had this wonderful little sort of being together, you know. It was very sweet of them to join me. Yeah.
After tea, it's back downtown. MJ makes the observation that the kids that grow up in this area have seen airplanes and helicopters come and go, but they've never seen a car. There's never been a train or any kind of wheeled vehicle, even a motorcycle. You wonder what is in the minds of the kids and what picture of the outside world this conjures up for them. I meet Ananta Pokarel, a USC staff person who's just returned to Humla for a visit after several years away. So all of this market stuff developed after you left?
Big change.
Yeah. She moved here 16 years ago to set up the USC development program. It was a gutsy thing to do, to come to Humla alone as a woman from another part of Nepal, unable to speak the local language. She encountered a lot of resistance at first, but she persisted, starting education programs for women and local farmers.
And this is going to be a fruit tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this an apple tree?
Yeah, this is apple tree.
After 4 years, the USC office was established and she was able to return home. Today, the USC Homeland program is led by Ungobar Lama, a man from a village a day's walk away.
Yes, please come.
I shall. Right. After you.
This is our UAC field office in Nomla. Herbal plant.
Are these locally adapted seeds, or did you get them from somewhere else first?
This is local seed, all the local seed.
Right.
Collection from community in the Humla base.
Right. Many things I don't recognize.
Yes.
Right.
Ungobar and other people doing his kind of work are preserving regional biodiversity by supporting organic agriculture that doesn't depend on imported chemicals or seeds.
Depend on the, some are the 2 month.
Right.
Ungobar shows me the route we're going to take tomorrow to visit one of the nearby villages. Construction's underway to expand this road for vehicle travel from Chinese-controlled Tibet right into Humla. That will bring huge changes to this area. It's this route we're taking as we head off to the village of Danda. This has been described to us as, oh, it's just an hour and a half away. And it'll be a perfect way to sort of break into it and, you know, just have a short walk for the first day.
It's a team of pack goats. Interesting, eh? Yeah. Yeah.
The road to Danda is also the road to Tibet. It's a road that has been in use for centuries by salt caravans carrying salt from Tibet down to India, where it gets sold and people buy rice and take that back to Tibet. And it still goes on.
Hey there, bub. These guys are better at this than I am.
What this road means to me is a workout.
Oh, not doing as well as those goats.
The thing I'm genuinely worried about is that I've got knees that are worse by 20 years of wear than they were on the first trip.
I never go hiking. My hiking is entirely urban these days.
The 1.5 hours turned out to be 5 hours.
I feel like Frodo.
By the time we get into Danda, my legs are extremely resentful of the walk, and I'm exhausted, and I'm grumpy, and so here we are. People are greeting us with great enthusiasm, though, and smearing us with bits of food items by way of greeting and blessing. And they're smiling at us, and they're glad to see us, and I'm glad to see them, too. This community is made up of one of the 2 main ethnic groups in the region, the Chetri, who are Hindu and culturally oriented towards India. We're going to spend the next couple of days with them. People have to work really hard just for the basics. There's no running water in the villages. And farming is carried on much as it has been for hundreds of years. There's darkness in the canyon, but the light comes pounding through for me. And for you. For me. This is one of the more unusual morning exercise routines I've seen. The Danda school is very basic and overcrowded, to say the least. Most of the children don't look well nourished. Because this area is so remote, people have historically not had much attention from governments or development NGOs. It's no surprise that when the Maoists showed up here 12 years ago promising to improve their lives, many people at first welcomed them. Some even joined their ranks, including quite a number of women. The Maoists brought some progressive elements to life here. They promoted equality for women and campaigned against widespread corruption in government. Their activities brought about a heavy-handed response from the National Army. In the war that ensued, innocent people were victimized and exploited by both sides. The Maoist fighters forced people to join their cause. And using threats of violence, they compelled poor farmers to feed them, even if they didn't have enough for their own children. So the Maoists came in with a pretty good thing, but shot themselves in the foot. We still hear resentment expressed for the way they acted. With or without Maoists, it's still a struggle to make ends meet. Hello, namaste. Namaste. Right on the outskirts of Danda, there's a little farm that shouldn't be here. It's run by Dirga Bahadur Shahi and his brother Hira. Can I ask you some questions about your farm? Yeah. Of all of this landscape, why did you choose this particular place?
तर त्यहाँ बिक्री नहुने भयो यहाँ केही यो होटल पनि भयो होटल लगाएर बाटो हाड्ने बाटो हो है
If you look at the landscape around, all of the rest of the terrain is covered with these enormous boulders that are kind of debris from a nearby long extinct volcano. And this guy decided that this was a good spot to have a field and removed the boulders. So I'm looking at all these big rocks, yeah, and I can't believe that you guys moved them like this, and I wonder how you did that.
He removed all these stones with the help of some wooden things and, you know, making firewood and cracking the rocks.
They built fire under the rocks to crack them? Is that what you're...
And then if it doesn't crack, we need to hit with the hammers.
And they do this.
Hammers. Yeah, this is how they, you know, break rocks. Yeah. With the help of hammers.
Yeah. So how long did it take to clear this whole field?
Yeah. It took 8 years to, you know, complete this all.
र त्यो अचम्म त मलाई पनि लाग्छ किन भन्नुहुन्छ भने पहिले यस्तो हुन्थ्यो भन्ने ठाउँ थिएन है तर अहिले यसरी बनाउँदाखेरि मलाई पनि अचम्म लाग्छ यो तपाईहरुलाई अचम्म लाग्ने कुरा स्वाभाविकै हो.
You guys should be proud. That's an amazing amount of work. Over the past few years, this farmer's gone from strictly subsistence farming to being a producer for the market.
So this year, he nearly earned $2,400 for a year.
Wow, yeah, congratulations. $2,400 between the two brothers is a lot more than most people make in Humla. Improved crop yields using organic farming methods and local seeds are starting to raise the standard of living here. There are other hopeful developments, too. At USC's prompting, some women in Danda have set up a savings and credit group. Each member contributes whatever small amount they can, creating a fund they control and from which they can take revolving loans. As this money, with its modest interest, is paid back, the fund grows.
Namaste. Namaste.
Ananta, Susie, and I drop in on one of the group's weekly meetings.
How has this cooperative helped them with their daily lives? अब पहिला यस्तो हाम्रो महिलाको यस्तो उ पनि थिएन ज्याकैमा हामी झाल पाउन थियौं
हमलागी महिला हमलागी क्या नि छ नि हामी कख अच्छ पढाका नै तर भया छ असम्भाव्य पैसा मिल्छन्
हामीलाई धेरै फाइदा छ
केटाकेटीलाई कलम कापी
बच्चालाई पनि हामी कलम कापी किन्न सक्छु आफ्नो समूहकी महिला बिमारी भए पनि हामी त्यही पैसा गाए हामी त्यसलाई दिन सक्छु हामीलाई छ के हाल्यो
Loans also allow some women to build small greenhouses to extend the growing season, providing healthy foods well into the winter.
This is amazing.
Within 1 year, she takes the benefit 3 times.
Right. 3 harvests.
Yeah, harvest in this. Easy to grow.
Right. Well. And how do the husbands feel about them being more independent?
पहिला त मन नपराएको आजबाट त धेरै खुसी छन् आजबाट बुझेछन् पहिलाको भन्दा धेरै परिवर्तन छन् आज
I imagine that the fact that Nepal now has peace must make you feel really good.
पनि किरो पनि नमरोस् हाम्रो अगाडि सानो किरो पनि नमरोस् सबैको शान्ति होस् सबलाई राम्रो होस् भन्ने त्यही शान्ति हो नि के
एक जिन्दगी छ एक जिन्दगीमा सुविस्ता गरौँ र मरौँ कसैको खुन देख्न नपाऊँ
If I can inject a personal question, how old is your grandson?
तपाईको बच्चा कति वर्ष भयो रे
यो हजुर 3 वर्ष भयो यो नाति हो
3 years old
3 years old. He's beautiful.
राम्रो छ रे
These are the future. This is what peace is for, and development, right? This is who will really benefit.
Just in front of the school, the people of Danda put on a cultural show for us. And then it's my turn.
Wow, I'm चाहिँ Bruce Cockburn है क्यानाडाबाट आएको है धन्यवाद है त ल ताली बजाउनु सबैले
Dhanyavad. I can't be as loud as those guys. Wild things are prowling, storm winds are howling tonight. Everything's transforming into pure crystals of light.
Not sure my song works for this crowd.
The heart is a mirror, it throws back the blaze of love.
I'm painfully aware I'm singing in a language none of these folks understand.
It's no secret what I'm thinking of. I want to wait no more, wait no more.
Back in Simikot, Ananta tells me there's a Nepali song she thinks I should learn. She says it was a hit in Nepal, written and sung by a Buddhist nun, Ani Choyang Dolma. So the best way for us to do this is if you sing the whole song through, I think, and then take it apart, and we'll figure out how to fit the guitar with it.
फुलको आँखामा फुलै संसार काँडाको आँखामा काँडै संसार.
It's a pretty sweet song about peace and mutual respect among different kinds of people and getting along and what your priorities should be from a Buddhist perspective. This one's the same as this one, more or less?
Yeah.
Right, okay, good. And you don't say the A on the end, you just say Namaro.
Namaros.
So, what's the tune again?
Taha taha juneliko kamoradima.
I find myself struggling a little bit to figure out how to fit a guitar into the song. Oh, sorry. Just give me 1 second. You know, after messing with it for a couple minutes, a direction started to appear. Because now I have to think about each thing, but later I'll be able to do it properly.
You can do yourself one time?
Maybe not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe. In the morning, there's this Buddhist Rinpoche who is holding court outside the hotel. Rinpoche is, I guess, the equivalent of an abbot, in this case of a monastery up near the Tibetan border, which is not that far away. And he's traveling through and is going to be in Simikot for a couple of nights. The Rinpoche is an important man for the Buddhists of the area, and they come to be blessed by him. And in the end, at the urging of MJ, we get blessed too. I wasn't going to have any part of it. I thought, well, I'm content to observe this from afar. Not that I didn't want to be blessed, but that it seemed like I felt like I'd be intruding on something.
Namaste. You're also Canada?
Yes.
Ah.
And you are journeying to America now? The Rinpoche, as it turns out, speaks really good English and is on his way to see his teacher in New York. Right, yeah. I wish you a safe journey. We set out for our next major stroll to the village of Bargon. Not far as the vultures fly, but a hefty walk for us who have to follow the contours of the mountains.
There's roads and there's roads, and they call, can't you hear it? Roads of the earth and roads of the spirit. The best roads of all are the ones that aren't certain. One of those is where you'll find me till they drop the big curtain. Hear the wind moan in the bright diamond sky. These mountains are waiting, brown, green, and dry. I'm too old for the term, but I'll use it anyway. I'll be a child of the wind till the end of my day.
I've always related to wind, to air. You know, that's my element. And this is a landscape where air looms large and beautiful, and it's like your skull opens up and your brain expands right there.
Christopher Robin went down with Alice, dee-dum, dee-dum, to see the guard at Buckingham Palace. Dee-doo, dee-doo, dee-doo.
Feel right at home here. What are these little houses? Water mills? Yeah. To grind grain, you mean?
Grind, grain.
And there's someone in there.
He's grinding the buckwheat. Underneath there is, the wheels.
Yeah, okay.
The water will run the wheels.
Right.
Then that will, the grinding, that restone.
Yeah.
That's
great.
Tapping the power of a tiny stream is what Western aid agencies call appropriate technology. Folks around here have been doing it for generations.
It's hard to know where to put your weight. Yep. If I fall, you're going to know it right away.
As we crest a ridge, we see an awesome sight, the village of Bargon.
I'm struck by the way in which Bargon blends into the surroundings. Its look is so harmonious aesthetically with everything around it. It's the way the landscape has impressed itself on the people and the way they in turn have shaped the landscape that's reflected in the way the village sits in the landscape. And it's a really effective and beautiful relationship.
He's a visitor person, okay?
Namaste.
When we started.
Bargon affords us an introduction to the other major culture in the region, that of the Lamas. This group follows the Tibetan version of Buddhism.
I'm told that this masked dancer represents a divine presence which scared away forest demons when people first settled here. For Ananta, this is a homecoming of sorts. When she arrived here to establish the USC program in the area, she stayed with a local family.
This is my house.
This is your house? This was where you stayed when you were here? Wow.
यो 16 वर्ष अगाडि म चाहिँ यो घरमा आथे 4 वर्ष चाहिँ म यहाँ बसे त्यसपछि 4 वर्षपछि म यो घरबाट गए तर मलाई चाहिँ यो घर दोस्रो माइतीको रूपमा चाहिँ मलाई एकदम माया लाग्छ किनकि यो घरमा चाहिँ मैले धेरै माया पाएँ र सबैले मलाई चाहिँ एउटा दिदीको रूपमा एउटा छोरीको रूपमा एउटा बहिनीको रूपमा लिनु भएको थियो
Kongri Lama, his wife and 3 children live here, along with his 3 parents. There are many variations on the nuclear family in this part of the world. Kongri's father's wife, unable to bear children, went out and found another woman to be the second wife. She gave birth to Kongri and his 3 siblings, who were then raised by both women. It's an arrangement that seems to work for all of them. With the scarcity of firewood on these deforested slopes, Kongri's wife puts out cow dung to dry for use as fuel over the coming winter.
बाबा खानु भयो खाइसक हजुर खा कुनै त्यो मटी तेल ल्याएर त्यो पेट्रोलहरु ल्याएर के बाल्ने उनै थिएन के एकदम धेरै समस्या थियो यहाँ म यो कोठामा बस्दाखेरि मैले प्रयोग चाहिँ यस्तो गरे थिएन यो एउटा बत्तीको रूपमा एउटा लाइटको रूपमा एउटा बिजुलीको रूपमा थियो मेरो लागि र मैले 4 वर्षसम्म यो नै बालेर मैले 4 वर्ष बिताएको हुँ जस म तपाईलाई देखाउँछु यो बत्तीले गर्दाखेरि यो सबै यो पुरा वातावरण फोहोर हुन्छ पहिला यहाँको महिलाहरू धेरै आँखा दुख्ने आँखाहरू पाक्ने त्यसपछि श्वास हुने यस्तो छातीहरू दुख्ने थियो
People realized if the village of Bargon had electricity, even just enough electricity for a couple of light bulbs in each home, their health would improve. They looked to a familiar resource for a solution. A few years ago, they built a micro-hydro project. USC helped by providing some of the materials, but the people of Bargon built it and keep it running. Now Kongri's family can use the community electricity for a few hours each day.
अहिले चाहिँ बिजुलीले गर्दाखेरि उनीहरु अनि त्यसपछि आँखाहरु दुख्ने त्यस्तो समस्या देखेन छाती दुख्ने धेरै मान्छेहरु थिए त्यो पनि अहिले समस्या हटेको छ
We were invited to stay last night on the roof of Kongri's home. The night was cold, and this morning I seem to have lost my voice. I get shivers when I hear Kongri's mother singing a Buddhist prayer. You stand in a landscape like that and you don't really hear anything except the wind and the occasional animal sound and the prayer flags that crack in the wind sometimes. It's easy for us to get distracted from the need for organizations like USC to be in a place like this because it's so beautiful. You have to remind yourself that this is a rough place to live and life is precarious. The child mortality rate is very high. There's no medical care anywhere. It's only in the last few years that education has been widely available around here. Kongri's kids go to a school that serves children of all ages from several villages in the Bargon area. become the excuse for a school assembly, which takes place in the courtyard of the school. And one of the teachers has written a song to welcome us, which he and several others perform with a couple of local instruments. And it's very moving, actually, to be the subject of a song. The feeling you get from these kids is that this is where they want to be and they really want to learn. This is particularly true for girls, for whom it's kind of a new thing to be allowed to go to school.
अहिले शिक्षक विद्यार्थी अभिभावकको बीचमा एउटा मुख्य समस्या भनेको पोवर्टी, एउटा गरिबी हो समस्या। हाम्रो धेरै बच्चाहरूलाई लेख्ने कापी कलम झोलाहरू हुँदैन, नास्ता हुँदैन, खानेकुराको समस्या हुन्छ। हामीसँग शैक्षिक सामग्री छैन, विज्ञान सामग्रीहरू साइन्स मेटेरियल्स नअभाइलेबल, साइन्स सामग्री छैन, साइन्स ल्याबको समस्या छ, धेरै समस्या छ। धेरै नै फरक पर्छ। कम्प्युटर आयो भने बच्चाहरूले अहिले हाम्रो होल स्टुडेन्ट्सहरूले बाहिर देशमा के भएको छ थाहा पाएको छैन।
कति हुन्छ नि 3 भने कति हो?
There's change in the wind, and it's inexorable, and it'll be exciting to watch, actually, how these kids deal with the new things that are coming at them.
This one, okay?
Ananta had it in mind to teach me this song, and teach me she did. It's a very tangible kind of souvenir.
I need to have bigger lungs for this.
When we talk about development in a region like this, we're talking about such basic things, not about how easy it is to get to the next town by bus. It's like, what do people drink and how healthy is it? The first priority is to make sure people are fed, and then the water comes next, and then education and so on. For some reason, in the act of departing, we suddenly have to hurry for the first time. I'm not even sure I want to be leaving yet. In the end, what stands out most vividly for me personally, brief and almost casual as it was, is the blessing of the Rinpoche. This unexpected gift points to the fact that while these people need our help, they also have much to give us. Spiritual wisdom, tactics for survival, and shining examples of interdependence and determination. Like the determination of Ananta and the others to improve the lives of their fellow Nepalis. As global culture and technology reach the people of Humla, who knows what gifts might radiate back to change the world beyond. I know these new friends and their harsh and beautiful land are going to live in my heart as my journey continues over other roads, under other skies.
Sansara